Good evening, everyone. It's game 3 between cytown and Thirwolf. Games 1 and 2 were very similar in the way they played out in the early game, but they had two vastly different results based on level 9 and the mode of one-hit knockout kind of playing a key factor. Tonight, we won't see any one-hit knockout. We will see potentially blackout. It's the first time the bots rolled something different, and I know I'm looking forward to it. Question is how much is Saver looking to it?
I personally prefer Oko versus Blackout, but with these two runners, I don't mind whatever they get right now. I'm just looking forward to a great match. How you all doing?
We haven't seen the minor item drops yet. That one I think is probably going to be the longest of all of the potential matchups if that one gets rolled, but thankfully tonight it's just the lights that may be on or off.
When it comes to minor items, I'm kind of hoping it's the finals game 3 when that happens. Looks like our runners are off.
We get a B slot item, which appears to be the magical boomerang, and it's sprite shuffled, so it's going to be a bow that's flopping around. And that is a blue candle in a shop, which also means that they will not have a sword this seed.
Blue candle, swordless, and immediately mirrored overworld at one corner. Always stinks when you have to traverse the other corner.
Yeah, so they're probably hoping that they either find the power bracelet in its normal location and the inroads didn't shuffle, since that would put an inroad near them, or looking just to find an any road nearby, because that's probably the earliest chance they'll get to move around quickly. But we did see that I think we have all but 7 or 8 as our Triforces for this seed, so it doesn't matter which quest it is.
Could be first, second. Well, we're in level 2, and we can find. Hey, it's not blackout. We can see.
Well, that's not very good. I wanted to see the lights being completely off.
Would have been nice, but cytown deciding to bail early. I did not see if he was blocked to the right side of 2, but that 2 looked like first quest 2, judging from that bottom and bottom left section.
Yep, it's a pack of bombs, it looks like, on the floor there, so it's, I don't think that was, the room that we were looking for anyways, for the potential vanilla drop.
Right, for level 2, I believe it's supposed to be the 4 turrets room with the sand in the middle. Normally with the gorillas, but we got shuffled enemies, and it seems like everything is getting killed with the blue boomerang. All hail. So, that means we have 0 HP enemies. We don't know how bosses are. And this dungeon loves to give bombs, which cytown would love to get right now, exploring the forest and going right to the coast.
Yep, of note, the desert that matches the dungeon color is supposedly the room that has the heart container drop in it, whereas the turret room, I think, is the item drop room. So we may either have multiple desert rooms shuffled into level 2 here, or we will not have vanilla rooms dropping their items.
Yeah, thank you for that correction. I don't think Thirwolf I don't think he found an item in that one.
Oh,
So-
he found one.
Oh, he did? Shoot.
Oh, yes. It was the exact item he started with.
Well, in my seed, we did have 2 identical runes like that, so it could be he picked it up, or it could be not. But
So,
since it's level 2, you might want to lean toward you did pick it up.
So I know that was 100% the magic boomerang on the floor because it was a magical bow that dropped in that vanilla room. But what's really important to me is that is the first quest set up for item location drops. Like, level 2 has magic boomerang in the original game for first quest, so I would, if I were both of these runners, immediately clue into the fact that potentially level 6 will be a big deal.
Level 6, having the wand. Level 4, also, in order to traverse, because you gotta traverse level 7 and 8, regardless of what quest it is, so ladder may also be important. And it looks like on the coast, Cytown has found the heart.
I would assume that is a heart. It's hard to see because it's the any key
It's
doubled over whether or not it's matching his shirt or it's just a red item. I think because it has red in it, it's supposedly going to be a red item, but I don't
I
remember.
guess if
on that
Thirwolf goes there because his tunic is white, we might see a color difference if he gets there.
Well, we know it's not the ladder. It can't be there.
The only other potential item that has a sprite like that would be the raft. So, Cytown, I think, found level 3 and also bailed on that. So, I think on Cytown's mind, he might be just searching for 7 to 8 and just banking on being able to clear those dungeons quickly, as well as level 9. You know, exploring and trying to find that, of course.
So when I was watching back some of Cytown's matches when I was trying to go up and beat him in his previous round, see how well that went. But anyways, his tendency was to basically bum rush the 2 dungeons or the 3 dungeons or the X amount of dungeons that he didn't have Triforces in. And if he got items on the way through there, it was great. Otherwise, he was just banking on the fact that Ganon might not be forced, which is interesting because of the flag he chose for his Losers Remorse.
Thirwolf is usually the one also to make that same exact gamble, but you're right, because they forced Ganon, they're gonna have to hunt down the bow and hunt down the silvers. Now, if that blue boomerang in 2, it suggests to us that all the items are in the vanilla locations. 1 would have the bow, and technically 9 would have the arrows, but we might need 1 more location just to give us that peace of mind that we're pretty sure that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but I think it would at least change Thirwolf's mind as far as bailing immediately on level 6, whereas now that he knows that there's a potential for it to have the wand, maybe he'll check a handful of rooms until he gets combat blocked and then decide whether or not he wants to continue.
From the past 2 races that I saw between these 2, I think Thirwolf always decided to do Death Mountain later. So do you think he's gonna change his mind this time, or is he just gonna stick to his regular route and, if need be, go to Death Mountain later? Especially since it's swordless, you gotta maintain your bombs.
Well, he's got his bombs saved, so I think it's going to be a lot more dependent on whether or not he actually finds a route to be able to get there quickly. Like, I don't think he's going to traverse his way directly there, but if an any road plops him down suddenly in the middle of Death Mountain and he's just saved his bombs, then he might open up some caves up there as opposed to waiting until later and then retry if he finds nothing.
Right, because of where they spawned, every single retry is going to waste them about, since they have no any roads currently, it's probably going to waste them about 30 seconds. And between these 2, you do not want to waste any time.
Yeah, we had a long discussion in chat in another matchup yesterday about whether or not you would get, like, if you got the book in one of the dungeons in Swordless, would you set up a scenario in which you kind of save that book, or not save the book, but save right before grabbing the book, grab the book out of the dungeon, up an A and continue out of there and try and get to the hints and then retry all of that, or would it waste too much time? And I think the decision there, like the decision here, is probably it's just going to take too much time to go out of your way to get to Death Mountain and retry back out unless you have the direct path.
Alright, with the book, these runners have been dealing with Oko lately, so if the book gave you fire, you definitely don't want to keep it around. With the hints, I think I agree with you. I think it takes a little bit too much time. Unless it's so early on and the hints are like close to your location, then it might be. Otherwise,
So here's an interesting dungeon to find. Level 5 in Vanilla has the recorder, and we have so many different flags for the recorder. I think it's like a 25% chance that that recorder could actually send you to the 2 dungeons you're looking for, as we just saw a piece of meat at the Armos location. So I think because it's red, I would believe it to be the power bracelet, probably.
I would have to agree with you on that one. 100% power bracelet confirmed by Thirwolf.
And there's a Triforce in the Vanilla Triforce location, so I believe what we saw in level 2 was a magic boomerang in its drop room, and we saw a desert drop a pack of bombs instead of a heart container. So perhaps what you said earlier about there being multiple deserts in level 2 this time because of the randomizer may have happened.
I've seen many times when the Triforce was in the Triforce room like 3 times in a row, and then the 4th time it wasn't, and then it's like, excuse me? But there was a heart container in the 4 turret room in level 5, which Dig Dogger is usually in Quest 1. So we actually still might... I think I have to go with vanilla trap rooms.
Yep, that's what I was kind of implying with that level 2,
Yeah.
just throwing that desert in there just to troll the commentators and the runners both.
I don't know why that happens. Well, I guess I kind of know why it happens, but it's very trolly when it does, especially when you're expecting it. Because in this mode, well, because it's swordless, both the white sword and the magic sword is going to be bombs. I don't think it's going to be bombs plus technically, but it's going to be bombs. Although we think that the items are not shuffled. If they were shuffled, it's kind of hard to tell which dungeon had the bomb drop as the main item.
Meanwhile, we had a solid troll staircase there in level 5. I don't know if you saw that, but that diamond staircase and the push block were right next to each other up the right. So Thirwolf saw both of those staircases and realized, oh, well, that's not exactly what I was looking for. I was hoping this won't actually be the item. But I think it is an interesting but probably correct call from my vantage point to dig level 5, under the presumption that it may be that you are going to find a recorder in here. And even if you don't find the recorder, you still definitely need the wand, you definitely need the bow, and you definitely need silvers.
Correct. And another thing with level 5 is I tend to notice that level 5, if it's quest 1, it tends to give the most amount of keys for free. Usually.
Yeah, it just depends on, I think, the way that the key door is set up in there, because it does also have key doors, as we're kind of seeing on Thirwolf's side currently. So it's just a question of where does it throw those.
Looks like Thirwolf is playing Hangman in level 5 right now. So he's opting to use all of his keys that he picked up to explore the rest of the top section here. But he will get rewarded back with the keys, so point his move.
Big information gain from cytown is that at least one of the any roads is vanilla, which increases the opportunity for the rest to be vanilla. And this arrow that's inside of this level 5 looks to be the right color for the recorder, and it is. So I would now almost bank on it from a runner's perspective that we're dealing with vanilla item locations as far as their dungeon locations go.
I agree. Looking at the race, I would definitely agree with you. If I'm playing with the race, you've seen I've made that assumption much later than I should have.
And look at this recorder payout right away. Level 7
Nice.
is switched immediately. So this is a big, big deal for Thirwolf in the sense that he won't be able to find level 6 and level 1 freely, which is where he may need to go to get those items, assuming that we are not in some elaborate ruse here.
So he's still going to have to hunt those down, as well as level 9, so the hunt randomly around the overworld will not end here, just because we have access to 7 and 8 right now.
Yeah, this is full first with the palettes not being vanilla, as far as I can see from that map. I think what Thirwolf is doing now is actually a really smart play. I don't think you clear 7 or 8 until you find level 1 or level 6. And the reason I think that's a smart play to make is your goal is to be able to get around the overworld a little bit, and once you knock those dungeons out for their Triforce pieces, you can't flute back there.
That is a smart move, although level 8 does have the any key, which makes it again. It might be useful for level 6, given that Thirwolf only has 1 key currently, and cytown only has 0.
It looks like he gambled and won for 16 rupees, but that's not really a huge prize, so I guess we won't see him continue to gamble too much in there as he
But that's a huge prize.
Yeah. 100 Secret takes away any reason to really gamble too much now, but he's going to retry it. I think that retry is more because he knows now what the location is and he wants to get his bombs back so they can make better decisions and get it all accomplished in one without hitting a door repair or something with these next set of bombs.
Right, and you never want to go down to 0 bombs or even 1 bomb. Well, being 1 bomb in Swordless is okay if you're extra cautious, but it's so scary. Like, the thought of going to 0 bombs in a Swordless seed, you gotta make sure you have a bomb shop handy, and you gotta make sure you have enough rupees for that. Otherwise, you're running around just trying to do anything to find a bomb.
Yeah, if you don't have like a wand, I guess, is probably the only thing that I would want to, if I were going to ever chance a 0 bomb situation, just so I had a chance to farm up in most of the dungeons. But then you might still get stuck with Wizros being the only thing you can kill for bombs, and you can't kill a Wizro with a wand.
Right, but once you have the wand, you're pretty much in just I don't care mode at that point. Or you can, find a bomb shop right nearby in Death Mountain, so if you want to continue exploring here, you just buy those bombs. And since Thirwolf knows what a 100 secret is, he can just get the 100, bomb the rest of these spots here, refill with 8 bombs, and continue.
Yeah, I think that is exactly what he's thinking at this point. He's going to use the last of his bombs since he's going to lose the bomb anyways down here just to get out, get that Dark Nut out of his way. So, refilling, will he save or will he just go ahead and continue? That's really the only question.
At this point, I'd probably just continue, because if you find absolutely nothing, you can still keep that 100 in there in case you need something else like meat, which is very rare, but who knows.
Alright, that's an interesting thing to find, though. That's a hint shop, and we know that the chances of the hints being true is at least somewhat reasonable, because we're in a situation where it's either going to be helpful or deceptive based on what we've seen in dungeons so far. And there it says that there's going to be bombs in the Dead Woods, which means I think that we will not have a bomb upgrade, so that's kind of unfortunate.
So, or at least they know where the bomb is, so they don't have to guess about dungeon. Even though that's doesn't really matter now, but still. So cytown is continuing to check level 7 with 0 keys. Perhaps he might be able to dig out the red candle in here, and that's going to help him continue exploring. Perhaps he's just, like you said before, he just wants to get the Triforce out of here, perhaps some kind of repeatable weapon, and continue on his way. But if he does dig out the red candle, it's going to help with... I don't know what it'll help with. You got the magic boomerang. I guess... No, not even Dark Nuts. I guess it doesn't matter right now, does it?
There's not a whole lot that the red candle can do that the magical boomerang can't do.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Huh.
I don't know that I would even walk down the stairs and look for it.
I mean, unless you're confused with Mirrored Overworld, which I don't think these two players are confused at all about which burn spots to bush. Wow. Which bush spots to burn. So far, nothing in Death Mountain, and nothing in level 7. But Gliak returns on Death Mountain, which we know that because Thirwolf is able to record her, and Thirwolf found level 6.
Yep, so his change of pace play to go to Death Mountain is definitely going to pay off some. I think he's just pirouetting here, yeah. So, we're going to see how easily obtainable that wand is. I don't think he's going to leave without it this time, though, because of the situation with Foreskin.
Right, it's 100% required at this point. And because there's Lionels, I don't know if Lionels are a common enemy. I don't know if we're going to have Wizworms in this dungeon.
I don't believe you will. I believe the Lionels shuffled with the Dark Nuts, and with Virus also in there, I don't think you're just going to see a lot of situations where you have Fire, Dark Nut, Wizrobe all in the same dungeon like that. This room is like...
this room's kind of free-ish. Just don't get hit. I was gonna say, because this looks like full blown first quest dungeons. Level 9, if anything, will probably have a lot of key doors, so I wonder if either of these runners are going to stick around in 8, since they have to go there anyways to get that end key before diving to 9. Especially when 6 wants to steal your key.
Yeah, he's gonna take the staircase here first, just to try and conserve that one key, because there, I don't think, are quite so many key drops in level 6 by design. I think there's only a handful of them. They just all happen to kind of be on your route in the vanilla game. It looks like we hit the Voldorm with the boomerang, and it did not take damage when he hit it, from what I saw there. So if that's the case, then yes, then the bosses have rolled plus or minus based on the Lamolus going down to the boomerang.
Well, that's something to look forward to. So far, we haven't seen more bosses being shuffled into these dungeons, so it could be just the same amount of bosses in each dungeon.
Yep, that would have made the red candle, I guess, worth the 7 or 8 seconds to walk down the staircase, but in any event, looks like cytown has moved on, I think because he was out of bombs, which he just found the pack of bombs in the Dead Woods in Vanilla 3, so I think helpful hints is becoming more and more a thing.
So far, we haven't found one lie, so that's a good sign.
I called one race tournament so far that had a whole bunch of truthful hints, and then level 9 said Northeast to Skull has the silvers, but they're off in like level 8 or something.
Actually, now that you mention it, actually, we don't even need the book to understand the hints. Never mind. So if Thirwolf wanted to, or any of these players wanted to, they could go into 8 to find level 1's location? Is that not right?
Did you see that hint?
Career grumbles with the heart container?
Yes, sir. So now we've got a bit of a shenanigans moment, whether or not that is deceptive, or if it's truthful and we've just been getting massively trolled here.
I mean, technically 7 does have the heart container on the floor, but do those hints always refer to a staircase item? I don't know. No, because level 2 doesn't have a staircase item.
We're going to find out what level 6 has here right now, and it's blue, so I think it's deceptive hints.
We have a wand. A repeatable weapon, and a good one at that.
Yep, so at this point, it's almost certain vanilla items. It's almost certain deceptive hints because it doesn't consider Heart Shuffle, and I don't think Heart Shuffle could even be on if it's vanilla items, so that's nothing to worry about at this point. Just ignore the old man's hints. I guess maybe you don't if it's an overworld location for like level 1 that's inside of level 8. I think level 8's a more valid play if you're hoping that it gives you sequential hints, but that's about the only thing that I would actually look at this point until level 9's hints.
Right. Yeah. I guess Thirwolf still would probably like to find 4, but we haven't seen any ladder blocks yet, even though cytown is looking for it right now, assuming there might be a ladder block in 6, but based off of Thirwolf's screen, we know that the wand did not need the ladder.
Yep, so I guess he's going to clear the rest of Death Mountain East here to see what all is up here. The question then becomes, do you actually dig level 8 now that you have a wand, can clear it quicker for the Any Key and for the Triforce? Or do you continue looking around the overworld for level 1 for the bow before you even bother with that?
Well, Thirwolf already checked most of Death Mountain up there, so at this point, sure, I'd say clear level 8. You're pretty much not going to whistle back to that location too much. I mean, even if you did, and say you wanted to go to the grave, you'd still have to be screen scroll happy either way. So I would definitely just go for level 8 right now. After these small little checks, of course. Once you're on the roll, you don't want to give it up.
Chat's asking where level 4 was. I know that cytown was down in and around level 7's location and the bomb pack in the dead woods, so I'm going to assume he's still down there somewhere. That would be where level 4 is at.
I think it might have been Armos nearby, if I remember. Alright, so Thirwolf is recording, but to which dungeon? Yeah. At this point, he's gonna say, enough's enough. Where's my Triforce? Where's my hint? And perhaps where's my key?
Yeah, I basically think you would have to walk in one room and see a Triforce to not kind of look around for the any key for at least a couple more rooms. It says on Death Mountain is an entrance to death. That appears to be false based on the extensive coverage that Thirwolf has had of that area. But I don't know that he's hit 100% of the caves up there yet. Just close.
Yeah. Oh, cytown takes death, and I bet the ladder was up there. He's gonna have to trek back all the way up. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if Thirwolf got every single Death Mountain spot, but he seemed pretty thorough. Although he might be missing the 2 early spots next to the river. Maybe the 3 spots there. That's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, it's deceptive, like you were saying.
Yeah, well, as far as the river is concerned, and somebody in chat can probably correct me if I'm wrong here, I think that would give you the along the river hint as far as the overall location goes for those spots that are only in second
Yeah, if
quest.
it was only the second quest spots. I meant past the one that goes vertical, not horizontal, sorry.
Oh, the
The one you ladder
inter-
across. Yeah, the intersection.
Yeah, the little divider between west and east, I get you, yeah. That could still be one that he hasn't checked. I don't know that I've seen him go that way.
If he goes... well... If he goes straight to 1 and then straight to 7, I may just assume he has that 1 or 2 spot left and he's just going to bank on it. If we see him explore a bit more, then I'll assume probably it's fake.
So here's a spiral staircase here.
We have a red magical sword. That is probably... Actually, that could be book or any key at this point.
Thank goodness.
It's the any key.
Both runners find big items, though.
Wow, cytown with the ladder that's blocking Zelda at the very end of the game, and Thirwolf with the any key to not worry about any more key drops.
Yeah, we won't know exactly how trolly that ladder is for a little while longer at least, but it won't be something that cytown has to worry about. It's just a question now of how long does it take him really to find either level 6 or probably level 1. I would think that the bow is enough to kind of help you keep pace, as Thirwolf finds the Triforce room in level 8 and is only 1 Triforce piece away now from being eligible to 9.
Kinda surprised he didn't check for the level 1 hint, but he might know it's false.
I don't know how much of the overworld he's actually gotten cleared at this point, so that if he's only gotten a little bit of it cleared outside of Death Mountain, then yeah, that would be a potentially useful play.
He's going into... Never mind. I thought I was like, he's going into 3. No, wait a minute, that's just the bombs. Where is that level 1? Could it potentially be this burn bush? Or could it be the whistle spot? It's not the whistle spot. Show the silver arrow to the old woman. Well, and we found level 9 not at Death Mountain. So you were right, we have deceptive hints, and cytown finds level 1. 2 big finds again at the same exact time. Just 2 different ones.
Yep, this was a really important find for cytown because he doesn't really have the repeatable weapon that can kill the Pole's voice. He does have a repeatable weapon as far as every other non-boss besides Wizrobes and Darknuts is concerned, but
Thirwolf is the one that had bought the arrows earlier on, but I'm assuming cytown knows of an arrow shop. Cytown leaving? Or no, he's just opening up the bomb wall and start. So Thirwolf is not gonna go toward the grave. Oh, don't tell me to bow the bow.
Fred, come on now. That's just silly.
You can't do something like that.
You know, I think the Fred meme is overplayed, but there it's warranted because you've got Sprite. Use something else, Fred.
Yeah, especially for an item that's actually required. Well, next thing you know, the silver arrow will be silver arrow. Then again, probably the moblins were shooting something else. So at this point, Thirwolf needs to find 1, and cytown needs to find 6 and 8 and 9.
Cytown's big disadvantage here is that he doesn't have the recorder to just freely know where level 8 is at, so it's going to take him quite some time, in my opinion, to get up to Death Mountain and get to the cave where that's at. So I think that puts Thirwolf in a fairly comfortable lead. However, Thirwolf still does have to find level 1, and he's going to have his ladder now that he's got level 4. So I don't see a way for cytown to be ahead for at least a little while longer until something stymies Thirwolf's ability to progress somewhere in some of these dungeons.
Yeah, with level 4 being kind of sort of close to level 1, like Thirwolf decided not to go to the grave area. He decided to go toward the vanilla star area. So that's how he found 4, and he's going to probably find 1 along the way, unless he goes to Candle Row and does something weird that way, but I doubt it. He's probably going to check every spot he can. So maybe Thirwolf has, I don't know, right now, 7-minute advantage?
Well, if this Pole's voice is the primary enemy in this room, it's going to be a bad time for cytown because he didn't pick up the wood arrows.
It is not.
Yeah, fortunately he got a pancake. I guess he knew about that since he had this bomb wall open up here. But any scenario in which the primary enemy is a Pole's voice and he needs to get through a room, he's not going to be able to until he goes and finds the wood arrows. Which shouldn't be too hard to find because our shop prices are vanilla, and I think they were also their vanilla setup, so he's going to know which sprite is actually the wood arrows.
And then when you get into a room like this, with 5 bunnies, and you cannot get a lick out of it.
Yeah, so now cytown's in even more trouble because he has to find a wood arrow shop, and then he just lost roughly a minute or minute and a half of progression through that dungeon that he's going to have to retrek through.
Oh dear. Well, at least Thirwolf was kind enough to have a death on a manhandler to make up the time a little bit. Is it me, or is this just straight up first quest? Overworld. I did not see vanilla level 2's location myself. It's not? Okay.
Yeah, well now we see that. So that really clears it up, but no, you don't buy the bombs, you buy that. There you go.
You buy both, he has enough.
Yeah, you certainly buy both, but you must buy the wood arrows based on what you just located in level 7, and he does get both, so we'll see how quickly cytown goes back there, or if he's particularly lucky, he will go up towards Death Mountain before he goes to level 7 again.
Yeah, he has a lot of cash right now. He has not explored this area. He might actually go downward to the grave? No, he's gonna go up here instead in Death Mountain first. Interesting play. Because in Mirror Overworld, you can actually screen scroll to this area, as Thirwolf did before from the top right, to get to the left side.
Yep, and now Thirwolf has his ladder, so he's taken away the early advantage that cytown had to it, and it did not cost him any dungeon progression, which is the one thing that you would probably hope for if you were rooting for cytown to kind of make up a little bit of time. So it was at the Blue Ring Armos shop.
Yeah, but Thorwolf, yep, he's gonna continue searching around the star area, so he's gonna find level 1 within a minute and a half. Oh boy, checking the level 9 spot for cytown. So he's moving his way toward these screens, gonna check these screens, and then he's gonna move his way backwards and probably check the rest of Death Mountain. So that's gonna waste a little more time. Cytown's mind. Where is level 6? I hope I don't have to go to level 3 to get the raft to get to level 6. So even though Thirwolf found the recorder in level 5 to help him locate level 7 and level 8, if Cytown continues to explore all of Death Mountain even after finding 6, he's going to find 6 and 8. So at that point, the recorder is pretty much useless to him.
Yeah, it's no more than a quick transport to level 7 at that point, so it will take away some of the advantage Thirwolf had, but it still did cost him a little bit of extra time to locate level 8.
Did Cytown already find level 5?
I believe both runners found level 5 and Cytown left it behind because it was right next to the Armos where he grabbed the power bracelet from, so I think he just kind of noped out of it knowing that he didn't need the Triforce.
Yeah, both players found that power bracelet, right? I'm just like looking at the tracker right now.
Yes, I believe they both have the power bracelet. Thirwolf got it before he went into the level 5. And I don't know that he's actually looked too much at the any roads, but I think he's probably figured out that they are, in fact, any roads, and now he gets his very vanilla bow.
Too vanilla. A convenient bomb spot for Cytown. Let's continue. Probably was storing up account 1, 2, 3, bomb shop. I don't have to worry about anything anymore. Although he's gonna skip level 6 until later, he's gonna find level 8 first, which is kind of a bad thing because I'm assuming he's gonna be searching all level 8 for that any key / Triforce. And I don't recall how heavy the combat was.
It wasn't too bad. You had the Gliok in the spiral staircase room that had your any key, but getting to it was just a transport staircase.
Right. So you didn't actually have to fight it, so that's good. Cytown says, "Hello, level 8." Thirwolf says, "Give me the Triforce. I want to get out of here."
Yeah, he's really just going to have to... I think Cytown at some point on his natural progression upward found the room with the compass to tell him where it was at, so... Thirwolf going north first, I think, cuts out a little bit of time for him, but all this time it could become very much a moot point depending on what level 9 ends up being like.
Cytown bailing out of 8. Didn't actually see what caused him to bail out, but this is actually a really good move because he's gonna find level 6. Never mind. He just wants to peer at the door. Which is also a good thing to do. But burning yourself? Well, I guess he wants to reset his count.
Yeah, I think that could be the only plausible explanation for deciding to set yourself on fire at that point. It's really not any faster to move around by burning yourself forward.
Now here's the question. Did cytown find any deceptive hints yet? Because he just found the hint for level 9 by the old man saying it's in Death Mountain.
Yes, he's seen a couple of deceptive hints already because there was at least one about level... I think it was in level 7, and it was back to back and gave you like a Harkut. No, it was in level 6 the Harkut.
Right, so he hasn't found 6 yet to give you those 2 weird hints. And oh boy, these land mullahs don't want to leave him alone. He only has 3 bombs to take out one of them.
Yeah, well, I think actually they're boomerangable.
That works.
And he's going to go through this door, and then he gets more land mullahs. If he can get to the south, which he definitely can, given that they're stuck there, I think that is where the Bliak is at.
Are these not dying, then? Wait, those weren't dying to the boomerang.
I think it was one of those weird scenarios where well, they died in another room. I think it might have been one of those weird scenarios where it got like a dirty slot for the enemy, so to speak. Or is it just because one piece of the boss is shuffled at a higher level than the others, and you had to actually kill that with a bomb and then kill the rest of it?
I never thought of it that way. What? Oh my god, no! Thirwolf is out of bombs! He needs bombs to press in 7.
Well, that is going to give cytown at least a little bit of time to find this any key in level 8, but I think the way he's going, he's climbed up to 4 keys. I think if he keeps on going up as far as his key count's concerned in here, maybe like 5 or 6, do you even care that much anymore?
Level 9... You'd think you're behind if you find level 6. I don't know. It's tough. It's one of those, like, maybe, but level 9 can't eat everything. Especially since you have to find both pig and girl. cytown making the gamble. I kind of agree with him. I have to agree with it.
Well, if he's assuming he's behind, which, from our perspective, he's at least a little bit behind, but not drastically behind, given that he's going to find level 6 if he goes back that way, and doesn't lose, like, his last bomb or something crazy.
The only issue is, once he finds level 6, he only has 1 bomb.
Well...
Okay. Buy the bombs, finish that 1 spot on Death Mountain. You have 1 spot, man.
Yeah, I think the only obstacle was those blue dark nuts at this point. So he's going to find level 6 here. He's certainly going to do the same thing Thirwolf did, which is dig it. And he's probably going to look at that staircase the same way Thirwolf did after seeing the next key door, but we'll see. As Thirwolf does finally manage to make his way through level 7, as he found some bombs outside, and is now on his way to level 9.
And Thirwolf is the only one who knows where level 9 is currently.
I think so. cytown was definitely down in that area. I just don't know that I saw him go that way.
It's one of those areas where I like to skip earlier on because it's kind of far out there in the corner, and then once you check it, like, you have to backtrack pretty far. I mean, it wastes like maybe 30 seconds or something, or maybe a minute, but that's still a lot of time. Wait a minute, so cytown's gonna find the wand?
Yep.
Because he used that 1 key. Nice!
Yep, the staircase wasn't too far either. It was just 3 rooms, I think, from the other side, but that definitely did cut out about 1.5 to 2 minutes of time that Thirwolf took in there.
Yeah, cytown definitely needed that. So now the problem is how to get to level 7. You have a long walk ahead of you. cytown, run, man! While Thirwolf is exploring level 9, listening for the pig, looking for a shutter door, and possibly ignoring Oldman.
Looks like Cytown's actually going to stop in level 5. I think this is... Well, actually, he may just be doing it for the health. The silver to kill the beast hint is very quick in level 9. Whether or not it's truthful is anybody's guess.
At this point, you've seen so many truthful hints and so little non-truthful hints. So you just go with it.
Well, he's gonna probably check to make sure it's not alive first.
Did level 7 actually require the recorder to get past the Dig Dogger? That's the only... Oh, then again, it's mixed quest. Cytown has not found level 9. He may be thinking that level 9 is under the desert or some other recorder spot.
Yeah, looks like Thirwolf is gonna stick to mostly a northeast hunt in this level 9. But he's definitely gone down one column too far, so perhaps he's just kind of looking around, and oh hi, I guess that looking around is quite helpful now.
Thanks, old man. You gave me the wrong hint, but I needed that hint. Hi, Zelda. Welcome back.
Looks like it's definitely a situation where she's in her normal room as well, which we kind of figured might happen based on what we've seen as far as Triforces. But ew, that bomb upgrade.
At that
Still
price.
helpful, but ew.
Yuck. Disgusting. Where was that recorder? Was that somewhere in the top left? No, it's like the top middle section, I think, of 5, wasn't it? When Thirwolf lost all of his keys to try to find it. I think.
It's been quite some time, but I think it was at the very top of the dungeon, left of the troll staircases.
Right. That was when he spent his last key. And let's see, the southeast is just a staircase. Oh dear, if Cytown gets the recorder, well, he is gonna go to 7. There is a recorder check next to 7, right below. You might as well check that corner, he's gonna find level 9. That's what I'm guessing so far. Come on, we gotta keep this race closer.
Yeah, it's really a tough call. I think the only real chance that Cytown has to find level 9 is the fact that level 7 is reasonably close to where level 9 is, so if he hasn't seen it, there's a chance he's going to check that room, but he's now going to know, I think he's going to find that other hint shortly that tells him some silliness about Heart Container. And I think he already actually knew by default because he had cleared all of the Death Mountain screens that weren't recorder blocked.
Wait, the Heart Container hints were in level 6.
Yeah, apparently they were.
Yeah, so Cytown's not gonna find that all.
Yeah, but I think he's already checked Death Mountain in its entirety, so I don't think that deception is going to confuse him too much anymore.
Right. Oh, Cytown going to every single room and probably gonna full clear it to find the recorder, possibly unneededness. Although it will recorder him to 7. I guess that's a small positive at this point. And this northeast for Thirwolf is so far not paying off other than the girl. And sword clipping on Cytown's screen is hard. Trust me.
Pretty sure this like room is what he's after, so he's got that. And Thirwolf's not too far away from confirming a deceptive hint for us in level 9.
Alright, so Cytown's gonna save. Might restock on bombs? No, he doesn't need to. He's gonna blow it. Go to 7. Get the Triforce. Check the whistle spot right underneath. Here's Ganon.
Yep, and Gan's in his own room, so even though the flags are different for Triforces being in their own rooms and such, it does look like very likely Zelda's only accessible from that one door.
Where are the silvers? The longer Thor. All cytown needs to do is not take key doors, because I've seen a couple key doors that Thirwolf already took with his any key. If cytown decides to ignore the key doors, maybe take more staircases, take a different path, whatever, this might be a close race.
Well, that's not good for Thirwolf, though, because he just used his last bomb to get out of Gan's room, which is kind of important, but in the process, ran into a room full of shutter doors and blue wizrobes that are 1 HP that you can't kill without bombs.
Oh dear. What are our bomb droppers that are mixed with wizrobes? Have we seen? The Gyptos. Okay, that's not too bad. Kind of, sort of near star, I guess.
Question in chat was, I guess, whether or not we were in the finals here. We are in the bonus bracket semifinals. And the winner of this will face... Oof.
Go on.
Yeah.
The winner of this is gonna face either Antler, no, TA909 or Fred Coughlin. And because this is game 3, whoever wins this one is the one who's gonna be moving on. Sorry about this, Spurt. I was really hoping cytown would have checked out record spot down there.
That's what I figured the reaction was for. I was just gonna let you play it out, but I think there is some consolation here. He's checked a ton of Death Mountain already, so assuming that's his play to go up there and check the recorder spot, and I guess this spot here and maybe one more in this little intersection, it's going to be proven false pretty quick.
He's going to check the recorder spot up here, thinking it's true. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, assuming he does not get clipped here by something like a boomerang.
Please don't. Nope, there's nothing here, and he can't record it back to 7.
Yeah, so his one real chance of finding it early was just to leave level 7 and check his one-off spot there. He's got like 4 or 5 locations that I for sure didn't see him go to, all kind of in the same general area. But after that, I don't think that he's got a lot of other places to look. So I think eventually he's got to work his way back down there, because I know that he tracks. I just don't think he has a tracker on his personal stream, so we're not ever going to know what exactly is left.
Yeah, the problem with up and A-ing is you're in the complete opposite corner of where you have to be, so that track is going to take a while. Even if you know it's over there, none of the power bracelet spots are even close to it. It's like you'll get halfway there, but that's about it. I think this game might go to the old man, depending on how 9 goes.
Well, Thirwolf is in the same spot he was a couple minutes ago as far as his bomb count.
Do we have silvers? We do not. Just another staircase.
Yep, cytown paid the 125 rupees for a +2, which is probably depressing him just a little bit, but those 2 bombs could be a big deal.
Wait, is this a screen scrollable area? Holy, hey, I didn't know about that. I thought I know the one above it was, but I didn't know that screen was scrollable.
Yep, we do, I think HN made one of those fancy graphics for it when he was kind of developing it for his website. It is available on the Discord for anybody kind of looking to play a trolley mirrored flag set all the time, which I would advise. It's kind of gets old if you do that. You want to mix it in just like this random percent tournament, but a lot of people have a lot of really nice graphics that they've put up to help runners with this tournament. A lot of the veteran players chipping out and answering questions, so pretty helpful community if you're looking to get into something like this.
Absolutely agree. Bear overworld and shuffle secret spots. Moderation, please.
Alright, I think Thirwolf has basically given up on Silver's being in that northeast corner, and they're in the northwest.
Well,
So either we both misread the hint, and Thirwolf also misread it based on his exploration of the northeast, or it was a lie.
and since Thorwolf knows where Ganon is, knows where Zelda is, this is pretty much GG.
Well, he's got to survive this on... Well, I guess he's got a potion, perhaps? Or does he not still have a potion? He's got no health, so he's gonna have to stun like this guy, period. His timing was off because Ganon was dancing, but so far so good. Full health Ganon, and he got him. Wow,
Nice
what a
job.
kill!
Not even one recorder in there. For shame.
Yeah, so at this point, it's gonna come down to whether or not 9 can kill Thirwolf about 9 or 10 times before cytown can get in there and actually explore fast enough to get silvers and all the requirements. So.
Perhaps Fred generated a double shoot room, one that's vertical and horizontal.
Yeah, well, we'll find that out shortly. But
Cytown's gonna find 9. Get your GGs out, everybody, for Thirwolf.
Yep, official time 55 minutes 7 seconds, and he will play the loser of the winners brackets finals between Fred Coughlin and TA909. So see which one of those he comes up against.
And we have a Thirwolf in the booth. GG.
Hey, thanks.
So we didn't get our blackout that we wanted, and we got a lot of vanilla stuff. But this seed had some interesting things going on in level 9, and kind of forced you to use all your bombs. And we thought that might slow you down a little bit, but got some good drops for some bombs.
Yeah, that 9 was special. Because there was possibly one bomb wall, and then there was the massive blue wizard room that might have led up there. But magic boomerang, how about that thing?
Yep, it was one of the more useful times to have started with the magical boomerang for certain.
So how's cytown doing?
Cytown, I'll let Saver kind of chime in for the rest of the story, but I think the biggest thing that puts you ahead of him was figuring out that A, deceptive hints were a thing that existed, and B, you went to get the recorder a lot earlier than he did, and that got you at least your 7 and 8 location figured out.
Yeah, and I went for recorder more just for kind of overall knowledge too, and travel, and it worked out, especially with 9x7.
Yeah, you found 9x7, but you also found 6x8.
Yeah, that hint was true. At the time, I didn't know deceptive hints was, because that was one of the very early ones. Then, yeah, I got some hints that were like, no, that's not right. But yeah.
Yeah, the first hint I saw you get, well, the first deceptive one was Guria Grimbles with the heart container. I'm like, wait a minute, that's actually true. Yes.
Yeah, I saw that hint and I'm like, no, he has a red candle. I mean, there's a heart in there, but heart shuffle's not on, so yeah.
I was like, well, level 2 doesn't have a staircase item, and I think we have hints for that, so technically it might count, but
no.
So another thing that kind of gave you a good headway start was when cytown actually finished 8, 6, and 7, he immediately up-A'd with the recorder to go to Death Mountain to try to find level 9 because he found the old man that said 9 is at Death Mountain, and he only had the recorder spot left.
That's rough. Yeah, I had cleared all Death Mountain and I got that hit and I'm like, yeah, right, game, just keep on lying.
Yeah, so you getting that recorder early definitely clued you in that was deceptive.
Yeah. Yeah, I immediately wrote that off and like, well, I need to find 9, I still need to find 1. I found 4 and I dug ladder thinking, maybe it'll be quick, and then it was on the opposite side of the level. And I mean, it helped, I think, at times. I didn't have to slow down or anything, so it was 4 minutes, I guess, well spent, maybe.
I know there was either 6, 7, or 8 that actually had a ladder spot with blue land molas in it. I forgot which one that you needed in order to progress.
I mean, I was done with 6 and 8 when I got ladder, so...
It might have been 7, okay.
Yeah, 7 had the blue gorillas, but I think you take the staircase and you bypass all that nonsense. Then it was that weird side bomb hole that you go left down and bomb right, and that was really annoying.
Yeah. Unfortunately, cytown is trying to believe in the old man here about this Silver's location.
I tried to get to the rest of the Northeast, but yeah, that didn't happen. I left 4 rooms up there. And the only thing I could think of is you bomb left into the shoot room to check those last 4 that are north of Zelda, but yeah.
So what was your favorite part of this seed?
Being able to like boomerang everything. that was just kind of a novelty. I mean, you don't typically see that. And blue wizrobes were despawning all over the place when you cleared enough enemies. It was pretty great.
Pole's voice also went away.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like, we're all leaving. Just kill us. We're fine. Didn't want to slow you down any.
I think the most amusing thing for me, the commentator, was you walked into level 2 as your first dungeon, dug like 5 or 6 rooms in, and suddenly you had 2 blue boomerangs in your possession.
Yeah, that was fun. I was more there for bombs and keys. I left with bombs and a key, so I can't complain. And item knowledge. I basically assumed that vanilla items were on after that, which that let me bail on 3 immediately, because who cares about a raft?
Yeah, so far watching you two, I think that my favorite part was you going down to level 1 staircase and seeing what the item was.
I'm like, well, I guess there's no possibility of that being a boomerang. Or is there? No.
I mean, the boomerang was a bow, wasn't it?
I don't remember. I didn't actually pay attention.
You threw the bow out about, I don't know, a couple hundred times at enemies.
I didn't look at it. It's just like start with it. It's been in my inventory for like an hour right now. Now, what was that sprite? I don't know. It was a boomerang.
It's useful, but I just don't want to look at it.
Yeah, it's like a silver boomerang, a bow, whatever. Yeah, it's a thing. Didn't really use the wood arrows much, but I'm happy with buying it, given that I've assumed silvers were in 9.
Cytown found the bow and then bought the arrows to be able to traverse 7, I think, but I think he went to 7 like 3 times. On his 3rd trip, he had the wand, but a couple of times before that, he was like blocked by Pole's voice, like all Pole's voice in the room, so you couldn't despawn them.
Yeah, I dipped 7 initially. I probably shouldn't have just left it as a location to record or 2 until I got everything else.
Yeah,
or at least cleared the area.
That was very smart to just leave it there, just to because you know you can record it back, so you might as well just explore everything else and then finally just zoom back.
Kind of wanted to know if there's an immediate ladder block or something, which there was a room with a ladder, so that might have played a little bit into getting that ladder. Man.
Unfortunately, now cytown is at that dubious 0 key count scenario that we thought might rear its ugly head when he got up to like 4 or 5 keys, I want to say, level 8, and found the Triforce room and kind of hesitated for half a second before saying, nah, I just gotta go. Because I think he, at that point, he found level 8 probably about 10 minutes ago or 12 minutes ago.
Feeling behind.
So I think he's just like, well, 4 keys is going to have to do, and I'm just going to have to go, because I don't have a lot of time left until I think somebody finishes.
Yeah.
I thought it was probably the right call, given that that was in fact the case, but unfortunately now that you are done and he's at 0 keys, it's making it for a little bit of a more difficult time of finding his way to the room he needs to find, although he did just find a second key in 9, so...
Yeah, there were a couple keys scattered around that I ignored.
So he's kind of sort of in the general area where the silvers are. He's going to be going north from here. If there's a way for him to go left... Okay, he's just going to bail on it. He says that key's too important right now. Away from there as we go.
Yeah, I don't think they're too far away from Gan's location. I think they're like 2 rooms north of him.
Yeah.
Thereabouts.
I took the 6 staircase to get up there that I'd found.
Oh boy, I hope it's not a magical staircase.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
It's either that or I think those blue whiz robes of shenanigans in that double shutter room to the west of Ganon.
Yeah, that's the one possible path that I can think of.
Well, 2 of the 3 hints in 9 were true. What's worth?
Yeah.
If he was able to bomb left, he would have had both Ganon and the silvers. But the old man said, denied.
He's gonna get another key now, so I think that key door that was kind of sort of on the way up that direction is now more or less a route that he can take with some comfort that he's actually gotten most of 9's area covered. And now he's got a 3rd key, so hey, 9 has a billion keys for once.
But he only had 1 bomb, and if he was able to bomb up... Well, actually, no, he would have been locked in with Ganon at that point. So you have to go either from the top of Ganon or from the left of Ganon to get to the silvers.
Yeah, the north door for Ganon is a shutter door, and the west door, or the west is a bomb wall, so that's legitimately, if he doesn't find the staircase up and there is no bomb wall that Thirwolf randomly whiffed finding to get there, then it's going to be a lot of bombs necessary to get there.
Now, where are all the bomb droppers?
There's the orange wizards everywhere.
Okay, when you have 1 bomb, where are the bomb droppers? I think we've seen some blue Gibdos, or somewhere early on in...
They're in there.
It's worth noting that he has actually burned himself 3 or 4 times in this dungeon and forced bombs 3 times to keep himself away from the 0 count, so...
Nice.
He has not hurt himself too much on getting trolled by 10 counts and such, like I tend to do.
Wonder if Fred could replace one of the hints with a shop that has bombs in it.
4 keys, we're rich.
Time to start wasting them all, and go key happy. Okay, now we have another key. Don't go too crazy.
Yeah, well, now you just ignore your count for a second, I think, or he's not going to. He's going to go for it and gets it, but...
Nice.
Yeah, these Gibdo are quite nice. And hey, he's found a thing that exists in level 9.
So this is like pseudo blackout? Never mind, he just destroyed the blackout process.
So now the real question... I guess my only real question now for Thirwolf is, would you prefer a rematch against the person that knocked you down into this bracket, or would you prefer to face the creator?
I mean, in theory, shouldn't I just go up against both one at a time? I mean...
In theory, yes, but what do you want for instantly?
I mean, so you're asking who am I rooting for to lose? Is that the question? I mean,
I'm saying, do you have any preference about who do you get?
You know,
you have to root for somebody.
I'm in no rush to lose to TA again, so...
You heard it here. Thirwolf wants TA 909 to lose whenever that match is going to get scheduled. Put it on the media. No, whoever you go against, either Fred or TA, it's going to be an amazing race. Both have different styles, but either way, it's going to be absolutely fantastic.
I say, whoever you get, it doesn't really matter to me. Let's just get you some minor item drop shuffle stuff, and or some actual blackout, not some fake. I might black out the dungeons, but I didn't seed.
Yeah, that would have changed things a little bit. I'm not sure how.
Would you rather have a fake blackout seed, or would you rather have another Oko seed?
I mean, I kind of blackout. I play so rarely that I think it's kind of interesting. So I've already played Oko like 50 million times, thanks to like some people.
And you denied our Oko, man. So Cytown has found Ganon. Cannot go up because it's shutter. See if there's a way around.
Yeah, we know you can bomb to the left. It's just, will he appreciate what he sees when he goes that way? Or will he say, I dislike this direction, I'm going to up A and hope for a different direction to pay off?
I just noticed Ganon is throwing bananas, something you started with.
I got 3 with the first bomb, so... Well, 1 that time. You're gonna have to make sure the guy doesn't teleport away, and... Oh, hey, that was the compass room, too.
Oh no!
Hey, he found it. The other item.
Yeah, this has got to be the red ring based on what you said earlier about finding 6 staircases.
Yep. Game.
A magical sword has been found. Oh wait, the magical light.
I mean, he won't say no to it, because he knows there's blue whiz robes in this dungeon, but he's probably slightly depressed now that he can't try and bomb up there.
Well, on the plus
Go
side,
down.
he's going right in the right direction now. Or at least a direction.
Yeah, if I had it marked right, I believe the silvers was in E5, the first E. Or at least that's the way I mark it.
It was the second one down from the top, so...
Is this the staircase to get up there is the question.
Yeah. He's getting up there.
And then the second question is there a bomb wall that he needs to open?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Oh, he killed it!
destroyed it! And that blue whiz room is still there. Can he despawn that blue whiz room?
I did, so yeah.
Cool.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I was also extremely low on bombs at this point, if not out.
And he's got to run from his life in that room, but I think he can go up in this one as long as it's not. Well, it's Patra, so that's
It's just that guy.
good thing to see.
So the room below this, the one with the key door, which is what I dub E5, I believe has those arrows.
Nope,
Keep
that
going
has
east again. Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
This room here, however, is very important.
I'm looking forward to a much better Ganon fight than what I did.
You had half a heart, and you did not really properly stun lock him, and got kind of a nice dancing pig that didn't decide to just wreck you for that.
Yeah. My timing was just horribly off, and I did not get punished. So.
Yeah, you can call it skill if you want. I'm going to absolutely throw you under the bus and tell you that you got quite lucky that the fireballs never really got you at a trolley time.
I was watching the fireballs. I know Ganon. I just can't stun lock him apparently with a wand. At half a heart, and I'm afraid.
The timing feels a little bit wonky because of the projectile to me, and I guess maybe it's ever so slightly off of the sword swipe, but I never really felt that off of the sword swipe, as he does take care of the pig since he's got the red ring.
Just all up in there.
Oh Wait,
Yeah,
is that Vanilla location for Zelda, or is that the other eye?
the other one.
Yeah.
So cytown's not going to be too far away from finishing here as well. And really, this seed came down not so much to 9. I think we both kind of really got wrecked by the level 9 and all the hints. But, get your GGs out now for cytown. Valiant effort, 2 tournaments in a row now that he's finished in the top 5. This one, I think, was 4th, and he was runner-up against RC Drone in the fall. So
Drone is a tough opponent.
yeah, you can't complain too much about getting knocked out by Thirwolf and RC Drone in randomizer tournaments. That's pretty much the top of the top. So can hang his head high that he took you to game 3 and really was one room away from actually getting to you in that game 2. So
Yeah.
really took the distance.
Thank you, Oko, for that.
Speaking of Cytown, I think he's going to get his mic set up here, but he is in the room with us. GG, and
Yeah.
I think that of all the things that happened this seed, I think the one time that we were really rooting for you not to leave the general area of level 7, you did. I think you probably saw that Ganon or that level 9 hint and went back to Death Mountain for that flute spot.
I did. It's the only reason why I went to 5 and cleared 5 was because I got that hint. So that just didn't work out for me this time.
Yeah, so there were a couple things that happened in this seed. I think Thirwolf went into 2 and found his second magic boomerang almost instantly, and I can't speak for him and say that he went and just assumed that it was going to be vanilla items, but I think it crossed his mind that he may want to look deeper into level 6 if and when he found it, and he made his way up to level 5 and the power bracelets vanilla spot, I guess, to make sure that was vanilla, and got his recorder quite a bit earlier than you, and that led him to level 8 with a full complement of bombs and or a bomb shop that was also conveniently placed up there. That kind of set him ahead.
Yeah, that would do it. I full cleared the overworld except for raft and I think 3 or 4 recorder spots, but yeah, that was I didn't play very good either. And if you're playing Thirwolf, you got to play better than what I just did. So, no doubt about it. And so I'm proud of the performance in the tournament. Not so proud of tonight, but it's all good.
Right side, you only died once. The trash across the way from you died twice. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't matter.
yeah, like I said before you got in here, I think your last 2 tournament defeats were to RC Drone and Thirwolf as far as getting knocked out of tournaments. So that's not really something to be shameful about. That's 2 very, very good runners. One that had a world record in the no up and A for at least a month or 2 there, and was a very, very big force for many a tournament even before 2019 in Randomizer. And then Thirwolf obviously being at the top of the SRL boards off and on the last 2 years.
Yeah, I've been in 3 tournaments and I got knocked out by Thirwolf, RC Drone, and the other one is Saver. So, and the all boards no swords, Saver knocked me out. So, I'll take who's knocking me out. I just need to knock these guys out. So, it's been a lot of fun though. I'm gonna get out of here, but just thanks a lot, guys, for calling the race and for setting all this up. Fury and Saver, you guys have done a ton of work. And Thirwolf, great job, dude. Good luck. Win the whole thing so I can look not as bad, okay?
Thanks. I'll give it a shot. GG, Cytown.
GG, man. Hey, thanks, everybody.
Yeah, we'll give some shout outs here real quick to CCX, who got the least publicized position of tracker, but even with it being a somewhat easier seed to track, it's still not a very fun job to have if you have to do it from the commentary booth and track at the same time. So very much appreciate having somebody in that role, and he did a great job tonight. Saver, this was kind of a fun series to watch as a whole, and even though there's a lot of vanilla in this specific game three, uh, still had some really interesting setups as far as having to get through some Pole's voice in level 7, which kind of put Cytown a little bit further behind, and then level 9 kind of giving them both a run around.
Let's just hope that my screen doesn't make it into a clip. Yeah, it was amazing watching these two. It's just the one early turn in level 5 for the recorder that just completely paved a different path for Thirwolf versus Cytown. But either way, I enjoyed watching how these two handle it all together.
Yep. Shoutouts again to the Restream channel, Randomania, for hosting this. CD Improv, once again, I think she's probably had her share, maybe 60 or so of these tournament races that she's restreamed for us. So always appreciate the fact that she's willing to dedicate her resources and her time to restream these for us.
And please make sure to follow my co-commentator, Fury SK. Without him, the tournament and this match wouldn't happen.
Yeah, it may have happened without me. You got Dark Falls to blame for all of this. But yeah, it's
You rolled it, you gave him the banana.
I did give them the best item in the game to start with, and it was a very good item for this specific seed. So,
So good that I
thanks
got
to
two.
everybody. Yes, you did. Thanks to everybody for watching. We won't know exactly when the next game is, but we do have our schedule locally, and you can keep an eye out on Randomizer and Speed Gaming. Both those are the two that host our the majority of our matches this tournament. For now, I think Randomizer 1 has kind of a week-long week of randomizers and other exciting games that they're putting together. I think it runs from tonight until, what, the 4th or 5th of July, so it's something that we definitely would like to support here, and that's where you're going to be rating. So enjoy their content, and we'll probably see you here in the next couple days or so.
Take care, everybody.